BMW have a long experience making good cars. This is their first mid-engine sports car, M1, which was in the late 1970s, and they tell you this uses a lot of the same styling cues. Lots of cars have reversing cameras now, right? They're about to be mandated. This goes one further, and it has a God's Eye mode. And the first time I turned it on, it just blew my mind. It's like, do they have a, is there a drone above my head, or are they tasking a satellite? Is Google watching me? It uses a camera at the front and the back, and then one in each wing mirror to build a top-down picture of what's going on. That's our car. It shows you the curb there. There you go, you see the car just drove past. If you open the door, you suddenly lose that camera. You close it down, it shows it. This car is easier to park than probably any other car I've ever driven. So there's all kinds of active safety in this, in addition to the cameras. It has, these sensors everywhere. So it has a bunch of different modes. There's Eco Pro, which in this car, I've turned it on once or twice. It turns off the air conditioning to save power. It has Comfort, which is, I guess, your everyday driving mode. In Comfort mode, it starts off in electric power. You can see right now, we're just kind of coasting along and it's recovering energy to the MGU at the front. When we want to go below certain speeds, it'll just drive on the front wheels in electric power. Nice and silent, environmentally conscious. This is a sports car that Ed Begley Jr. could drive. Even the factory they built it in is pretty cool. Like it's all uses renewable power. The carbon fiber all comes from a plant in Washington State, where they use hydroelectric to power that, send it by boat to BMW in Germany, and they turn the rest of it into a car. And that's all. It's very green manufacturing. If we want to go a little bit faster, as you floor it, the engine kicks in. The little engine lights up orange. Now we put it in sport mode and the engine's always on, and then now it's just going to use the electric power for boost. And now you can start having some fun. I understand that people say, performance cars should have a manual gear shift, and they should all, they shouldn't be any gadgets, and it should be just an analog experience, and you controlling the car and heel and toe gear shifts and all that kind of thing, which there's a place for, and I think on track, great idea. But this thing weighs 3,500 pounds. 1,500 kilos. It's made of carbon fiber. It's got crazy aerodynamics. A 1.5 litre turbo gas engine in the back with an MGU electric motor at the front that captures energy. So we've done 5 hours driving, 133 miles, and we've done 26.8 miles to the gallon. It's probably no faster really than the Corvette Stingray or maybe a Carrera S. But unlike those cars, you don't need to rev it out to experience the power. You kind of step on the throttle and it's there. Because it's only got this 3-cylinder 1.5 litre turbo engine, to get real top speed you need power, and I think that once you get above 150 you'd notice the fact that it doesn't have 600 horsepower. The next cheapest hybrid sports car you could buy would be the Porsche 918 Spyder, which is $600,000-700,000. That's a league ahead in performance, and that's makes this car seem pedestrian, but it's also a price tag that almost no one can afford. Purists who think a sports car should be all analog and machinery and none of this electronic gizmos. Incidentally, people who think like that, why are you reading Ars Technica? This really is the wrong site. It's in the name. It's the art of technology. You should embrace that. So the noise is slightly artificial. It uses its active sound, so it uses the speakers in the car to augment the sound. I think it adds tones, so it sounds a bit growly and exciting. Is that really fundamentally any different to having an Akrapovic or a 2B exhaust that is made of that's specifically designed, it's got valves that open up at different RPMs, and it's just designed to make a raucous noise without adding much horsepower? Philosophically, I don't actually think there's much difference. I think it's the same thing. And the important thing is it sounds fun in the car. In sport mode, if you hold onto a gear long enough, as it up changes, you get this little pop and burble as you change gear, which is, it's childish, but it makes me giggle. It's childish, but so am I. There you go. The other thing I think this car does really well is, for a stiff, low sports car, it handles broken road surfaces very well. the way that you can deploy the power, to the fact that it's made out of carbon fiber and it has these crazy scoops and air channels on it and stuff. There's very little about it I don't like. It's hard to get into and hard to get out of, so that's not so good. It could do with maybe one more cup holder in the front, so you and your passengers also have something to drink. That would be useful. Back seats, not that useful unless you have tiny legs or no legs. Okay, the trunk is minuscule. That's definitely a problem. BMW i8, the socially responsible, frugal, $140,000 sports car. If this is the future of motoring, I'm totally okay with that. I'm going to be very sad to give it back. BMW, can we keep it for another year? Maybe long-term test? What do you think?